This is the Geekazine Weekly Podcast, episode number 162 for October 27th, 2010. And I think somebody's looking over my shoulder, I think. I don't know. Is somebody looking over my shoulder? Anyway, we got a lot of cool stuff. We're going to be talking about Google. We're going to be talking about Apple. We're going to be talking about 12-year-old bug fixers and a whole lot more. So stick around. We'll be here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thanks a lot for coming out to the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.geekazine.com, 608-205-4378. That's right here, not right here, but right here, geekazine@gmail.com. And yes, it is the Halloween week. And of course, we have the one podcast before Halloween happens, so I decided to do some decoration. You really can't see the decoration on the video side. I apologize for that. Really wanted to show some festivity down here. So I did some decorating, but rather dark. But you can see this guy right here. Yeah, and I do have. The other skull is sitting over there. I'm not going to grab him. I'll do more on the 5 tech things that you should know. Of course, we've been doing all the Halloween highlighting over at the 5 tech things that you should know and go from there. It's been a very productive week. It's been a very fun week. If this is the first time that you have come to the show, to the podcast, to the audio cast, to the video cast, thank you very much for joining me and participating with the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. Of course, we do this show every single week, produced for Wednesday consumption to get you all your tech news and get you out the door and go from there. And we use the usual scrubby, which I forgot to talk about today, which is kind of sad. It's a very, very windy day. Yesterday we've been told that it's hurricane force winds, and we're in Madison, Wisconsin. We're in the Midwest, and we're having a hurricane in the Midwest, in what I'm calling a geekacane. Geekacane, yes. It's a hurricane in the Midwest. I don't think it's ever happened before, but ladies and gentlemen, we have it going on here. Because of that, the studio got a little bit of problems. So that yellow caution tape you see in the background, yeah, that actually means that there's a small problem. We had a little bit of leakage, and so I've cleaned that up, and we got that going. But definitely need to take a look at that at the house and see how to fix that, bottom line. So winds are blowing super hard here. We've had a lot of damage photos out on the internet. Of course, you can check that out on many different sites. So go out there and check out to see what the cool damage is over there, over at the Geek Studio. And, the Geek Studio is still standing. Of course, everything here at Geekazine is still good. So hope you are still doing good. You haven't had any trees fall on top of you, knock on wood, or anything like that. So, all right, a couple more things here. As you know, I also started a website called Wikizine, which was supposed to be the wiki version of Geekazine. I'm having some problems with Media's wiki, so I'm hoping that somebody will email me and help out a little bit. The problem is that people can post pages, and I've already have it set for the security to say, no, I don't. I want anybody that's registered that I say, okay, you can administrate a page, will be able to do that. But I don't want just the average person to come up and post on the page. So I need help on that. I've fixed all the settings, and I don't understand why it's still doing it. I'm also going to be changing gears here a little bit. I'm going to be looking for a publicist. I'm going to be looking for somebody that's going to help me out, get the word of Geekazine, get the word of myself across, get some more speaking engagements, get some more sponsorship engagements, and get that going. So if you are a publicist, if you are a PR person, and you're looking to pick up some new clients, I would seriously hope that you can check out Geekazine and talk to me. Call me at 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com, and let's get a relationship going. Let's talk about how we can build this brand. And of course, if you don't do that, but you know somebody that does do that, please pass that information along to them, especially in this time of need when everybody needs a new client, right? I know I need some new clients. And we're going to start over at Mashable.com. Google is finally upgrading their feed burner. I didn't realize that they needed to upgrade the feed burner, but I guess they did. They've got a new interface. I checked out that interface today. Looked pretty interesting. Definitely brought everything into a Google feel. Apple Insider, they're talking a couple articles from Apple Insider. The first ones they're talking about a glitch in the OS 4.1. Apparently, it's the glitch is when if you have a passcode on your iPhone. Apparently, they know of a way to get by the passcode, so users can access the handset's phone application and dial random numbers from the emergency call button on the phone's lock screen. So if you've got the passcode, you know, be aware that that's going to happen. So, and maybe you shouldn't have your kids playing. You know, if you got the 1-year-old that's playing with the phone, you know, maybe they shouldn't be playing with your iPhone just yet. So until they can get a fix out there. But there is a problem over there. If you want to know more information, you can go over to Apple Insider about that. Sticking on Apple Insider, we're going to go over here like that. Apple Insider has apparently created their own location service, and technically, no, it's not Foursquare. It's a program called Concierge. So Concierge for the iPhone. Basically, and this actually is pretty kind of cool. Pretty kind of cool? Yeah, that's a word. This actually is pretty cool. The idea is this. You walk into a store. You have an appointment with the store. People know that you're there. So they can come out and greet you. So you don't need a secretary in the front calling you saying, so-and-so is here. You can just find out through the concierge service. All right, there's a robot joining the NASA and the International Space Station. Space Shuttle Discovery will arrive at the International Space Station next week with a new robot from NASA and General Motors called Robonaut 2. And it'll be part of the Discovery STS-133 team. Pretty cool stuff. They'll be able to control them and work around. The robot will be able to do some work outside and probably do some other stuff that we wouldn't be able to do, and work in more extreme temperatures, I suppose, is the big thing. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we haven't forgotten Ubuntu. Or Linux for that matter. They just haven't really been too much in the news. Well, now they are in the news, and they are in the news because Ubuntu 11.04 is out, and it's basically gotten off of GNOME or whatever you want to call it. GNOME interface out, Unity in. Reason why is simple. Unity apparently can handle touchscreen monitors a little bit better. The newer technologies. The multi-touch feel and stuff like that. And, of course, GNOME wasn't doing too well, so Ubuntu decided to change out the interface. Ladies and gentlemen, you remember the snow days? I remember the beginning of the year. It was always a snow day. It's like the first week coming back to school, it would always snow like 12 inches. And we'd have a snow day. And we'd make the forts, and we'd have a couple days off, and it was great. We'd drink cocoa, we'd sing songs, we'd have snowball fights. It was just a merry time as a kid. No, not really. But anyway, the whole point is, now, these kids don't even get the school day. And I'm assuming this is also going to be for sick days. Because now you can go online, and you can access you still have to check in and stuff like that, and still learn in class. Apparently, a company or a school in Ohio is going to try this. So when the students do have a snow day, that they will still have to attend some form of school. So, pretty interesting stuff. I know it's changing the way you think of school. So it's not really an offline or an online school or offline school. It's just an alternate way to go to school. So, Mom, I'm sick. Well, that's okay. Turn on the computer and go to school anyway. Oh, Mom, that's wrong. That's wrong. If you're in the IT industry, this little chart is going to be very, very important to you. And basically it says, if you're a systems engineer, and this is over on Focus.com, if you are a systems engineer, your salary should be between $87,100 and $130,000. A guy that just lives down the street, Mr. Ben Heckendorf, has decided to do a little bit of Halloweening. A little bit of Halloweening, yes, that is the word. He has created the Portal T-shirt. Now, it's not something you'll be able to go out to Walmart and try and find and buy and so on and so forth. But what it is a T-shirt that you can go. It's got a camera in the back and an LCD monitor in the front. And as we scroll down here, you will be able to see what's behind Ben Heckendorf. All right, let's take a look at this kid right here. He's holding up a check because he just won the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. No, that's not true. And apparently he called up Mozilla and said, "Hey, you got a bug?" And they said, "Oh." And he said, "Here's a fix." And they go, "Oh, okay. Well, here's a check for $3,000. Going from there over to The Onion, theonion.com. This is actually pretty cool. In Wisconsin, we have Russ Feingold, who's running for Senate. A lot of you, if you live in the political realm, know who Russ Feingold is. Now, before I go any further, I want to tell you that this is not any type of political play. There's an actual reason behind this. It's all about social media. His opponent this election is a guy by the name of Ron Johnson, who's basically campaigning in the fact that we need to fix our budget, as opposed to add more trillions of dollars or whatever. And so Ron Johnson has been doing a lot of different things. And the one thing that's really impressed me is this over here. This is an article over on The Onion. Yeah, The Onion, which is also technically an old Madison-based paper. Of course, it became national after a while. But he basically says that he has no idea and never will know where on a map Washington, D.C. is. Or anything. One line in here, I love this. He goes, "Is D.C. where Mount Rushmore is? Beats me. Ask Russ Feingold." Ron Johnson is basically beating up himself in a social media network area. And I think he's trying to do this to get more of a liberal sympathy for him. Because this is something that a Republican... I'm sorry, but in all reality, this is something a Republican wouldn't do. And here's a Republican doing it. So, does that win your vote? According to previous results, and after what we thought was previous results, he's not really dead yet, he's kind of pining. That being the Sony Walkman. Yeah, the Sony Walkman is technically not dead, even though we thought it was dead. Sony Walkman in Japan is not dead. Or is dead. In the United States, not dead. Because there's different versions of Sony Walkman. You got the Walkman phones and stuff like that. But if you were trying... They produced the last Sony Walkman in Japan back in April. And once that's gone, that's gone. In the United States, there's still Sony. So I suppose it won't be dead just yet. But it's possible that they're just getting rid of the Sony Walkman line. All right, Google is, over on Ars Technica, Google is talking about a buyout of ITA for $700 million. If you're not sure what ITA is, basically it is one of those sites like Travelocity or Expedia, which basically finds the best rates for hotels, for flights, for car rentals, all that other good stuff. So the thing about this is Travelocity and Expedia are saying, wait a minute, we're already doing this. Google doesn't need to be in this game. If Google gets in this game, this is going to affect us, and then all of a sudden they're going to corner this part of everything. And they've basically wiped out the whole trying to find a good deal on something. What do you think? Do you think Google should buy ITA for $700 million? Let me know at geekazine@gmail.com. All right, last part of part 2 here, and then we're going to get you on your merry way. And this is over on chipchick.com, and this is the doorbell. Yes, if you want to have a different type of doorbell ring to your house for the trick-or-treaters, you can give this a try. It's called Honeywell's My Chime system, and it's a software item where you basically put the little doorbell on the house, and then it goes to the ringer, and then the ringer is whatever you want. If you want doors creaking, you can have doors creaking. If you want people sinister laughs, you can do sinister laughs. If you want bones rattling, you can get bones rattling. And that brings us to the end of the show. I hope you really liked it. I hope you didn't like it. I don't know why. Because it's Halloween. I hope you really didn't like it. Did you like it? You better like it. You better have liked it. You better have liked it. Anyway, www.geekazine.com, 608-205 4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. That is the end of the show. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. Happy Halloween, and we will see you here next week on the Geekazine Weekly Podcast.